Hi, Z-Fam Mama, and today I want to come to you and talk a little bit about organization. I know I talked in one of my other videos about being organized when you homeschool, and now today I'm going to kind of show you a little bit of how I organize. So starting off, as you can see, nice array. I love binders. It's a great way for me to stay organized for Grace's homeschooling stuff. So my main one is this one. This is my binder. Only I'm allowed in this one. Grace is not allowed in this binder. This one, as you can see, has my little pencil, what do you call this? Pencil pouch with pens, pencil, whiteout, that kind of stuff. Then I have her calendar to start it off. This is her calendar for the school year. Shows what days she has. And then I keep a solid schedule in my binder of what her daily schedule looks like. So as you can see, a few things have gotten crossed off and moved around because this was done last semester when she was still in vision therapy. So now that she's done with that, we've rearranged a few things. And then each tab I have for myself, again, however you want to organize yourself, do it your way. For me, because we are with a charter school, I have to give a monthly log and samples. So I'll switch here. You can see each day, math, PE, science, English. Oh, and I messed up there. So anyways, I'm going to fix this one. That's why I have whiteout. But this will be turned in. And then when it's highlighted, I have the samples right behind it. So they're ready to turn into the teacher. They're dated. They're all ready to go. So this is for me only. And then I just have some other things like what's the schedule, for math and where does she need to be and, English, what lesson are we on, what unit. So this also is right in my binder. And so I have one for history and science and math and English. And then I have also a special tab in the back where I keep, whoops, that's her testing. The special tab where I keep her, oh my gosh, what do you call this? Her eye appointment, her glasses, her prescription. Sorry. And so I have like that in there because we get her glasses each year, but I thought what a great spot to keep it right where Grace's stuff is. And I actually tucked the rest of the families in there also for that. So that's my main binder. I do like the ones that lock and then you open them and that locks so they can't just fall open because that drives me crazy. Okay, so there's that binder. How do we get to this binder? How do I get the samples into there? Well, that brings in all of this. These binders, which is Grace's binder, which I let her decorate her front. As you can see, it's totally kid done. This is her weekly binder. This is where I put all of her schedules on each page. Each tab has, I love tabs again. Each page has her schedule, what she needs to do. And then behind her work, and we just took out, so there we go, is the work that she needs to do for that day. Any worksheets go in here, math worksheets, English worksheets. Anything I want like writing samples from will typically be in here with the exception of actual writing. So that's where I have her special writing journal. Now what I like to do is put writing in here and then pull it out because I think writing is something that's one of those papers that I save because I think it's so cool to see where they write in kindergarten, how were they writing in third grade, and on and on and on. And so these are dated. Everything is dated. That's the other thing I would give you a tip of just throw, even if it's just the month and the year. You don't have to have a date, just the month and the year, 2 of 17, 5 of 17, whatnot. So this binder is where we keep, like things that she's done in. Right now I have 2 on the table because we're doing the IEW. If you're looking for a writing program, get this one. This is incredible. From going a child, like I said, she was in vision, and so her writing is, I would say, a bit behind, but she has ideas in her head. If I was to sit down and she was going to tell me a story, writing it sounds great. But when she sits down, oh my goodness, it's kind of all over the place. This is a great one. The teacher on there he's so funny. You look at it like, oh, it's a 1970s video. He's a neat guy, but he talks to the kids and really teaches what are important words to pull out of what you just read. So they're not copying, which is what kids tend to do in the first part. Oh, I'll just write that sentence. Well, you can't do that. what are some key words, and he has them pull it out, and he actually has them write in pen. My third graders writing in pen, I would never have done that, but listening to him and what he says about having them write in pen and being more concerned about what you're writing down than how you're writing it. So it's a really great program. I highly recommend it. So this is on the back burner for the moment because we're doing the IEW program at the moment. So I will pull out once she's done with her certain writing samples. Let me see if I can pull one. Oh, here's one. Once she's done with this will be pulled out and put into the next folder I will show you, which is Grace's schoolwork. This is a bigger one because it's her third grade. So each month I go through and make sure I pull everything out of this binder and out of the writing binders, all this kind of thing. As you can see, there it is. Good example. I have to do this for the last 2 weeks. But then the paperwork, I pull out what she's done and I decide, do I need to keep that? Okay, that's garbage. Ooh, I want to turn this one in as a sample. That goes to my binder. Oh, these are great ones I want to save for her. So anything I want to save, like save forever kind of thing, it goes in this binder. So at the end of the year, I just open these up, take it out, and I have those rings. I'll show you actually. I'll keep talking as I'm doing it. But I put the rings on it, and then I can put it in a manila envelope and put it in a save box. But these rings, if you get a chance to, I've got them at the dollar store, Target, Walmart, they all sell them. But they just clamp right around the little hole punch spot. And so it keeps all the papers right there together. So I highly recommend these also for organizing papers. And I do it for all my kids. If they have really big projects that we want to keep, I just put that together because, you know, you get 20, 30 pages or shoot 15 to staple them. It just doesn't stay. So that's what I do with that. And I'll give you an example. Like we'll show you January's fun. So here's her learning log that we turned into her teacher, and all the highlighted pages you'll see will follow. So we have all of these that we turned in to her teacher. We have 3, 4, and then things that I wanted to save. So here's some of her writing, and some more of her writing, and more of her writing. So there's quite a bit of her writing in here. And then there's some spelling worksheets. Now, I may go through this at the end of the, school year and go, I don't really need to keep that. Or I might keep one page of it. You can always get rid of down the road too and filter out. So anyways, this is my month of things that I want to save. So there's January, which looks fairly thick, but we had a lot of writing. Like I said, she finished her vision therapy, and that just opened up the doors to so many things for this little girl. So there's the schoolwork. What else did I want to tell you? Oh, yes. And then I have, get this kind of out of the way. So I have my resources binder. And what's in here is anything that might be helpful for different subjects. So, there's our thing. We have English tab, different writing assignments you can do, writing ideas. There's math tab, there's history tab. So this is different ideas, or it could be a timeline or a worksheet that I could copy off. Maybe it's a writing one, maybe it's math, maybe it's timelines. Geography stuff's in here. Anything that I feel like would be helpful for the year will go in here for myself. Or, my daughters help me homeschool, so I'll be like, go get the resource one, pull it out of there, see what we've got in there, and make a copy of it. That's the other thing. If you are homeschooling, get yourself a printer if you don't have one, a copier, not just a printer, but if you can copy, because being able to make copies of things is so great. I'll show you something I just did. Because of math, actually, yeah, I'll show you real quick. I'm all over the place, but my daughter's doing math. When you give them line paper, that's great, but it's lines for writing. When it comes to math, you want them a little more organized, squared off. And when I went and looked at graph paper, it's teeny, which is great when they're older and they can write that tiny. But I couldn't find any, in all the stores I went to, I couldn't find any. So I came home and made myself my own grid lines on, what I use, Google Docs for this. And all I did literally was just move the lines over. And I'll show you. on the one I actually made because it came out. I needed to make sure it worked out right, so I did it on white paper. So see how much bigger the grid lines are? Like perfect. Of course we can get her to the smaller ones, but she's 3rd grade. So I did this, and then I did multiple color paper so that it's fun, right? You're homeschooled, you get to have fun and do it on multiple color paper. It doesn't all have to be black and white, right? That's the cool thing. So these will go in weekly with her math assignments. So she has her scratch paper, but learns how to set it up neatly, nicely. So it's not really big here, really small here. It's really organized. So that's something copier was awesome for, because I have one right at my house. So I used that. What was my next thing? Okay, the next binder. This is the semester binder. I just got myself a bigger one, so it should be able to do the whole year. But now this one will be, I grabbed the wrong one. Oh no. Okay, here it is. So this is the one I have right now. This does a semester, but it's a tight fit. So as you can see, to open it up, yeah, the papers are gonna fall out. So you have to be really careful pulling them out. So I did get myself a 2-inch binder, which will be much better. Anyways, on this first set is all of her reading for this semester, all the reading worksheets, and so I have tabbed them for each book that she's going to be reading. As you can see, we're getting close to the end of the school year. So she has a story every week, and then these worksheets go with it. And then for math, another fun, her favorite, I also did these little tabs. Again, I'll show you the tabs, you know, woo, the peel and stick, you know, and you can reuse them. So these ones are great because you can reuse them. And so these are set up for each week. So all I have to do is come in here, flip a tab, and that's her math for the week. Just as I flip the tab over here, and that's our English for the week. Now, I do go through and say, Monday's this, Tuesday's this, Wednesday's this, Thursday's this, you know, on and on. But that's how I organize her math and her English. And then we have spelling that comes after that. Now, you look at some of the spelling and you think, she's in 3rd grade. Yes, again, some of this that we're doing, she can spell these words. It's about her writing on the line. She had a lot of floating words and her size, her little P's were big P's. So we're teaching her how to get them on the line. We have to kind of retrain her brain. So then that's her spelling. And then paper. Again, this is the best paper ever for kids because it's colored. But you can see there's 3 different colored lines. The top is blue, like the sky. And then the middle is the red, like a roof. And then the bottom is green. And so you can teach the kids, like your capitals go all the way up from the grass to the sky, or they only go halfway up to the roof. And so it's a really great way to teach the kids sizing, plus it's colorful. So really great investment if you can get this paper. And what else? Oh, and then we have some extras like multiplication testing we can do for fun, for timed, whatever you want to do there. So this is anything, and then extra spot. So this is all of her work for the semester. We do keep science and history separate from this because a lot of that, we try to, science of course, hands-on, as much hands-on as we can get because that's just so much more fun to have the experiments with, with science. And then history, we do a lot of different things and use a lot of books. We don't have just one book we use like we do the English. Okay, I think that's about covered it. So, yep, we're good. So thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up down below. If you have any questions, comment down below and I'll get back to you. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.